Welcome to PRINCE2 Practitioner Question Analysis.
Hey there! In this video, I will give you an in-depth outlook of the PRINCE2 Practitioner exam using sample questions from one of the most recent exams I helped a candidate with. I will begin by examining the scenario presented, then clearly relate it to the question being asked, and finally apply it to the PRINCE2 principles of project management. First, it was the city council scenario. I expected it because I've encountered it several times recently. It's a very common scenario, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't prepare for the others. This scenario drops you straight into a public sector project where a city council is delivering a large, high-risk construction project as part of a wider portfolio. So right away, you should be thinking about rules, approvals, and control. As you read the scenario, you're expected to notice things like historic buildings, sustainability targets, and public pressure, because these details affect how decisions are made. You'll also see that the project follows a clear staged approach, which tells you that stage boundaries, sign-offs, and tolerances really matter in the exam. At its core, this scenario is testing whether you can apply PRINCE2 principles, especially continued business justification and manage by stages, in a real situation. So instead of answering based on what feels right, you need to think about who is allowed to decide, what controls should be in place, and what PRINCE2 expects you to do. For example, in question 1, the project manager uses Buildy-Brick's sustainability rules as part of the project's quality approach. This is simply PRINCE2 being adjusted to fit the project and the people involved. That's tailoring. In question 4, however, the project is already finished, but no one is sure whether the benefits actually happened. So the director asks for checks to confirm them. That's continued business justification because PRINCE2 expects benefits to be checked even after delivery. In the exam, always ask yourself where the project is in its life cycle and which PRINCE2 principle best explains what's happening, instead of choosing the answer that only sounds good. Next, let's look at 2 more questions together, because they test how PRINCE2 thinks about people and value. In question 10, a new eco-friendly brick is introduced, and instead of forcing the change, the project manager brings in Buildy-Brick's construction materials expert. That's leading successful change in action. You use trusted influencers to help people accept and support change. In question 16, the issue is the business case. Saying residents will use the new parking isn't a benefit. That's just an output. PRINCE2 wants measurable improvements, like reduced congestion or increased town center visits. Here, you should ask yourself 2 simple questions. Who needs to support this change? And is this a real benefit or just something the project delivers? Now let's look at a third set of questions. Question 27 and question 30 are good examples because they both test whether you understand where information belongs, not just what it says. In question 27, you're dealing with risk register details, so listen for keywords like who monitors the risk, which points to the risk owner, how likely delays are, which points to probability, and when something is due, which points to proximity. In question 30, the focus shifts to issues, so keywords matter again. Rules about how changes are handled belong in the issue management approach. Real problems affecting time or cost go into the issue register. Detailed updates about a single issue belong in an issue report. With questions like these, slow down and ask yourself, is this a rule, a live problem, or a status update? Once you spot that, the answer usually becomes clear.
Finally, let's look at 2 challenging questions that I flagged. Question 42 and question 56, because these can easily confuse you if you don't slow down and read what's really happening. In question 42, we are enclosing a project. The product has been delivered, but there is concern about how it will perform in the long term, especially around sustainability. The trigger words here are unsure after handover and long-term performance. That points you straight to confirm project acceptance, where the project manager records follow-on actions for things that need monitoring after closure. In question 56, the project is already closed and the project board has approved a small recognition event. The key trigger here is supplier staff delivered the work, which tells you the senior supplier must be informed because they represent Buildy and manage supplier resources. In the exam, don't rush. Ask yourself, is the project finished or still running? And who actually owns this concern? PRINCE2 answers are about roles, timing, and responsibility, not what sounds logical at first glance.
There you have it, guys. This was just a recap of a few questions that caught my eye because of how often they appear and how tricky their application can be. I hope you've learned something today that will help you in your next exam. Thank you for watching until the end. You've been a great audience, and I hope to see you in the next one. If you need help with PRINCE2 certifications or any other proctored exam support, feel free to reach out to me on WhatsApp for a quick response, or email me if you'd like revision materials. Be good, and as always, let's get you certified the smart way. Adios.